Hey, what's going on? Josiah Novak here, and today we're talking about intermittent fasting for beginners. If you've ever had questions about intermittent fasting or how to start or how to use it in your personal lifestyle, today's video is going to outline some very clear and easy to follow steps if you want to test out intermittent fasting. That way, once you start, you might be able to stick with it a lot easier, and you'll be able to enjoy bigger meals, more satisfying meals, and stick to your diet a lot more consistently. So of course you can drop fat, get lean, and lose weight this year and see the results that you want long term. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. All right, before we get started in today's video, as always, do me a massive favor. I have a huge goal this year in 2021 of gaining 21,000 YouTube subscribers. Now, selfishly enough, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and hit the little notification bell to get notified every time I release a brand new video. Right now, we're releasing 3 times a week, giving you the truth about transforming your body and getting in shape this year and keeping the results you achieve forever. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, do me a huge favor, and help me reach that goal this year. And I'll help you get in the best shape of your life. So we're talking about intermittent fasting today, and you might have heard about intermittent fasting over the past few years. I've done multiple videos before on intermittent fasting, so you can always feel free to check those out. But today I want to refresh and give you a quick checklist when it comes to trying intermittent fasting, using it in your lifestyle, and ultimately maybe adopting it permanently like I have in my own nutrition strategies. So what the heck is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting simply is this. It's eating during a certain period of time and not eating for a certain period of time throughout your day. The easiest way to understand this is if you stop eating dinner around 8 o'clock at night, you go to sleep, you wake up the next morning at 7 o'clock, and you don't eat again until 10 or 11, you have literally gone 10 to 12 hours without food. Then all of your food comes between 10 and whenever you stop eating, 8 o'clock, for example, in the evening. So all it is just not eating for a period of time and eating for a period of time. Now, why is this important? Well, most people, at least over the past 15, 20 years or so, believed that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. Wake up, have orange juice, have a bowl of cereal, fill yourself with sugar, feel like crap a few hours later, want to take a nap, drink a coffee, and the whole thing just plays out. And your energy suffers and you feel like crap all day. So intermittent fasting basically came in and said, breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. In fact, the word breakfast simply means break fast. So it just simply means start eating. And you could break your fast at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Heck, you could not eat all day and have your first meal at 6 p.m. if you wanted to, if it works for you. What's most important is that you hit your calories that you need for the day, you get enough protein, and you eat quality food as much as possible. Those are the biggest factors when it comes to nutrition and staying on top of your goals when it comes to eating. Intermittent fasting allows you to schedule your meals for when you're the most hungry. Personally, I like to eat bigger meals later in the day. I'm really busy during the morning hours. Midday, I'm busy. And then as the afternoon starts to creep in, I start to get more hungry. I start to slow down for the day. And ultimately, I like to have more food to play with later in the evening when I might be going out to eat, or maybe I want to have a meal with my family. There is no magic behind intermittent fasting in terms of more fat loss or rapidly dropping body fat. I would be ecstatic if it was, right? But unfortunately, all it really does, which obviously is a powerful thing, it helps you stay consistent. And consistency is the name of the game when it comes to fat loss, staying in shape, and ultimately living a healthy and fit lifestyle. So how do we start intermittent fasting? Well, the best place to start is just to simply push your first meal back a couple hours. If you normally are a breakfast person and you wake up and you have breakfast at 8 in the morning, a simple way to start intermittent fasting is to have your first meal at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock instead of 8. See if you can go a couple hours without food and see how you feel. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on how to make this easier, how to make it enjoyable, so you're not super hungry, you're not starving all morning, you actually feel good, and you ultimately enjoy fasting, and you start to crave that fasting feeling that starts to creep in when you'll notice it as you start doing more fasting. If you push your first meal back a couple hours, that's a good place to start. Every week or so, you could experiment with pushing it further and further back until you've gone an extended period of time without food. and you've been able to maintain your energy and control your hunger throughout that time period. That way, you have more calories to play with later in the day when you're more likely to be a lot hungrier. How to deal with more hunger while fasting. This is a common issue I see with people who just start out. They're used to eating breakfast. They're used to getting those calories in first thing in the morning. And when they don't, their body starts to question what the heck is going on. So hunger signals start to get sent to the brain and you have cravings in the morning. So how do you get through that? Well, I'm going to give you a couple tips right now. First and foremost, you want to stay hydrated. All right. When you wake up and you aren't eating, start to drink a lot of water. I like normal room temperature water to kickstart the day. And then as I progress through the morning, I start to drink sparkling water. Sparkling water has that fizzy texture and it helps eliminate that craving if you're feeling a little bit hungry. It starts satisfying that need for food, at least temporarily, to help push you to whenever your first meal is. Keep in mind, if fasting is just not enjoyable, it doesn't make you feel good, all you think about is food all morning, then maybe intermittent fasting is not for you, and that's totally cool. I work with clients who eat a normal breakfast early in the morning and just eat throughout the day. I also work with clients who eat once or twice a day. It just comes down to what you can maintain and what you enjoy the most. The other tip, if you're dealing with hunger during a fast, stay busy. All right, get your work done. Do things that are on your to-do or your productivity list or whatever on your calendar. Get it done while you're fasting. Stay active so that way your mind isn't constantly fixated on food. If you have things or projects that need to be completed, a good time to do them is while you're fasting. If you have errands to run, if you just have things that are going to take your mind off of food, make sure they get done during your fasting period. That could be a huge, huge way to avoid eating if you're trying to save your calories for later in the day. Couple that with water intake and you're going to be in a really good spot. The other tip I'll give you is when you do have your first meal, so once you do break your fast, make sure that first meal is high in protein. A higher protein meal is going to help kill off a lot of the cravings you had during the morning. It's going to help keep your appetite nice and stable and your energy stable as you head into the rest of the day. If you break your fast with a couple donuts and it's just like sugar and carb overload, you're going to experience some, let's just say, unnecessary side effects, right? You're going to feel like crap. You're going to possibly hit that afternoon lull where you want to take a nap and you just want to eat all the sugar and all the carbs that you see everywhere. So my suggestion is to keep that first meal high in protein. Doesn't mean you can't have carbs and fats in that meal. Just make sure you're getting a solid serving of protein. My suggestion is at least 20 to 30% of your daily protein goal should be in that first meal. Let's talk about the best fasting schedule when it comes to beginner fasting strategies. All right. Here's my personal schedule that I found to work the best. A simple lunch to dinner eating window. All right. So morning hours are for work, productivity, and fasting. So your first meal will come around lunchtime, higher in protein. I have a midday snack in the afternoon. Then I have dinner at night. And if I'm still hungry and have calories left, I might have an after dinner dessert or snack. This schedule is very lifestyle friendly because it allows you to eat lunch, which oftentimes could be a meal with coworkers or could be a meal that you want to spend with other people. So you want to feel like, hey, I can still eat and partake in the lifestyle that I've chosen. Same with dinner time. You're going to have a lot of calories left for dinner, which is another spot where a lot of people like to eat out or eat bigger meals with the family. Personally, I'm not a breakfast person. In the morning, if I eat something, my energy starts to crash almost right away. So I avoid food in the morning and AM hours. I simply have water, sometimes some caffeine, which is another way to ward off hunger. And then I just wait. I just stay busy. And I'll have lunchtime right around the corner. And I don't feel like I'm always thinking about food, right? In fact, lunchtime often creeps up on me and I have to remember to eat. So give that schedule a shot. I think that's the best schedule to start out. You can always play around with an earlier lunch or a mid-morning snack if you're just super hungry. Just play around with different timings. You might not be a late night eating person. You might have your last meal at 6 o'clock and then not eat the rest of the night and start your eating schedule a little bit earlier than me. That's totally fine. There's no right or wrong here. Just pick what works best for you and stick with it long enough to see if the results are what you want. So a question I get all the time from beginners who want to start intermittent fasting is, can you work out in the morning if you're not eating? Like, don't you have to have protein After your workout, don't you need to recover after your workout? What do you do if you work out in the morning but want to avoid food till the middle of the day? Here's the good news. You don't have to worry about that post-workout window where you need to take in protein and calories to refuel and make sure your muscle starts rebuilding. What's most important is that throughout the day, you eat enough protein and get your right amount of calories in from quality foods as much as possible so that the recovery process, which isn't just in that after workout window, it takes place throughout the whole day, for the week. You're constantly in a state of tearing things down in the gym, rebuilding outside the gym. So make sure you're getting enough calories and protein throughout the entire day, along with water and sleep. Those are the biggest things that are going to impact muscle building, fat loss, and overall fitness. Don't stress those couple hours after a workout. If you want to, make sure that you're touching all your bases, just make sure you get a protein shake in within a few hours after your workout, right? That's going to help a few percentage points. It's not a big deal. Just get enough protein servings throughout the day, 3 to 4 times a day, eating enough protein, and you will be just fine. Hit your protein goals along with your calorie goals, and you don't have to worry about that post-workout window. Okay, so that's enough to get you started with intermittent fasting. If you're a beginner who's just starting out with fasting, I put down in the comment section below or in the description of the video, I put my favorite 20 recipes that you can download for free. Bigger meals, more satisfying meals. Check those out. Download them today, and that'll help get you ideas for what to eat when you are eating and you're not fasting. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. I'm Josiah Novak of thetruetransformation.com. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and hit that little notification bell to get notified every time I drop a video. Until next time, talk to you soon. Peace.